Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank Be Choppin', and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so what we're gonna be doing on this cut is a mid fade, comb over on top. We're gonna trim the top with a little bit, and I am gonna be using the new Stylecraft Sabers. Alright guys, so like I said, we are doing a comb over, so we are going to trim the top slightly, not too much, but as you can see here guys, I'm saturating the top of the hair, and I'm combing the hair in the direction that I want it to lay. That way I can kind of get an idea of how the hair grows, how it lays, so I know how much I need to cut off to where it looks good, but it doesn't look too short. Alright, so now that is done, I'm actually going in with my shears now. I picked up my first guideline as you saw me do, and I took off about, about a quarter of an inch or so. I'm really just trimming it a little bit. I'm not taking too much length off of the top. And as you can see, I'm just making it all nice and even on top. And I know sometimes when I do these videos, guys, when I'm going over the top, I'm moving a little fast and I'm not like breaking everything down into like sections and like doing it the neater way. And even though I know I probably should, especially when it comes to doing videos, I don't do it like that sometimes when I'm in the shop, because I'm on the go, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm moving, I'm trying to get my clients in and out of the chair, and I know exactly what I need to do to get this haircut or get the hair on top to be all even. So I know what steps I need to take. So, I apologize for not being so neat and detailed when I'm doing the top of these haircuts, when I'm doing it with shears. But for the most part, y'all know how I do it, guys. I set my guideline coming forward, and then I use that guideline for the rest of the top of the hair. Alright, so now that is done, I'm just blow drying it a little bit, combing it over. That way I can actually see the way it's gonna lay, and so it's a little dry, so when I'm doing my fade work, sometimes it's hard to cut wet hair, so I like to dry my client's hair up a little bit before I start my actual clipper work. So now I'm taking my Stylecraft Sabers. I got my number 3 guard on my clipper, and all I'm doing is I'm coming up right to that parietal ridge, and as y'all can see, I'm just floating my clipper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going into the head shape. I'm actually coming up in a way. That way it leaves more of a faded effect. And then on this side of the haircut, they actually keep this side a little shorter. So I'm going over it with a 3 right now. However, I am going to end up going over this side of the hair with the number 2, because like I said, they like this side a little shorter. Alright, so now I got my number 2 guard on my clipper. My lever is closed. I did not, I didn't open it. Most of the times I do, you know what I'm saying, but for whatever reason on this haircut I didn't. And you don't always need to open and close the lever on your clipper. Sometimes it'll flow right into each other. And that's basically what I'm doing here, guys. The number 2 is fading into that number 3 guard that was fading into the top. And like I said, most of the time you may need to open and close your clipper, but when you're a little more, when you figure out how to do it and how to float that clipper, you really ain't got to do that. So basically I didn't need to do that on this haircut. So as you can see on this side, I'm taking that number 2 guard all the way up to that part. Alright, so now that I got, the parietal ridge all prepped, what I'm doing here is I'm taking my trimmers. These are my Barberless Low Pros. The Barberless Low Pro FX. I kind of forgot the name of it. My bad. But these are the Barberless Low Pro FX. And as you can see, I'm setting in my bald guideline. We are doing a mid fade, so y'all know how I do my mid fades, guys. I like to drop them down in the back slightly. And most of the time, I would leave a little bit of hair in the front for that ghost line. But when I do kids, sometimes I don't do that because I'm just trying to get them in and out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, not that I'm not trying to give them a good haircut, but I'm just trying to move a little bit more efficiently and quicker, because you know how kids get, man. Like after like 10, 15 minutes in the chair, they start scrumming around a little bit. And it's not that they're bad kids. It's just, their attention span is a lot lower. They're ready to get out the chair. They're ready to go do what they got to do. So I try to move a little quicker when I'm working on kids. So I do not do the ghost line on most kids. Some kids I do, but on this one I didn't. Alright, so now that is done, I'm taking my Barberless FX3 shaver. And I said this on my last video, guys. A lot of people don't like taking that shaver all the way up to that line, but hey, I do it because I feel that it lasts a little longer and it helps the fade just look better. That gradients is there from skin to hair. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just barely tap at the bottom of the haircut, but I like to go up to that line. I feel that it gives it a better look. All right, so now that that is done, I'm going in with my sabers, with my lever all the way open, and I'm setting in my next guideline. And as you can see, I'm coming up about 1/2 inch or so, give or take, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still following that same shape that I created with my trimmers. And I am using a slight flick out motion. And remember guys, I say slight flick out motion because I don't want you to overdo it and overthink it. So you just basically bring that clipper up, and once you get to where about where you want that line at, you just start relieving some of that pressure off the clipper and flicking out a little bit. And as you saw me do just right there, I closed my lever halfway, and now I'm coming halfway into that section, close my lever 1 notch, coming right below that, and then I'm gonna close my lever all the way and attack that bottom line. And if that doesn't get that bottom line out, that's completely fine, guys. I know I can always come back in with my trimmers if needed. And even though, some of these, most of my clippers are 0 gap, even though they should take that line out, the reason why they don't is most of the time is because I bring that razor all the way up into that bald line. But like I said, guys, that's not an issue for me because I know I can always just flick at that line with the trimmers, when I get to that part of the haircut. But as you can see here, guys, I'm moving on to my next step. I got my lever all the way open with my number 1 guard on my clipper. And I am coming up another section. So this section is a little bigger, you know what I'm saying? It's about, almost a full inch, 3/4 of an inch or so. I set in that section, and then I close my lever all the way. And as you can see, I'm coming up halfway into that section. And if y'all curious to why I switched back to the color guards, it just makes it a little easier for me when I'm doing haircut tutorials, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that they work better or the other ones weren't good or whatever, because honestly guys, I really like the Gamma Dubs. I really like them a lot, and I also like the new the Babyliss guards. But it's just when I'm doing haircuts, my color guards they're easier for me to tell the difference. But what I'm doing here, guys, is my 1/16 guard, my 0.5 guard. I started off with my lever halfway open, and I just started flicking at that line, and then I'm closing that lever, attacking that bottom line, trying to get that line to come completely out, to erase that line completely. And now I'm going in with my 1.5 guard, lever open, and I'm basically coming up right below where I came with that number 2 guard. And then I'm going to close my lever and come right below that. And then for the most part, that is basically my initial steps. Now I know there is going to be some discrepancies in this cut. I know that it ain't going to be like completely finished yet, and that's fine, guys. Now I'm going to come back in and take care of all that right after I do the lineup. I like to do my initial phase, do a little bit of detail work, line them up, and then go back in and detail the haircut some more. And just so y'all know, guys, we are going to be talking a little bit about these clippers once we get to the opposite side of this haircut. Alright, so now I'm going in and I am doing some slight detail work. This is my number 1 guard with my lever open, and I'm just detailing these dark areas, trying to erase some of these dark spots that I see. And you're gonna see me, adjusting my lever, on different parts, using some corner blending, just basically using all these techniques that I know I can use to detail and to make this haircut really come together. So now I'm going in with that 1/16 guard, and I'm basically just coming right under what I do with my 1 guard. So if you were paying attention, guys, I did do some I faded up into my 2 guard, and then I started coming back down. And the reason why I do that is I just feel that it leaves a nice clean blend, and it leaves less room for error. Like, you basically went over your steps twice, so I feel that leaves that gives you a good foundation of what's going on, and then you could really just come in and detail a little more and nitpick at certain things that you really didn't like. And sometimes, guys, when it comes to cutting kids, it ain't the easiest task to do. Like I said, they like to move a lot. Sometimes they have a smaller area where you can fade in. It's just kids. I think, my personal opinion is sometimes kids are actually harder than adults. And like I said, you don't have a lot of room to work with. They start moving around a lot. You got to get them in and out. They like to move their head, basically against what you're doing. So you got to work your magic sometimes. But as y'all can see here, guys, I am going in with my liners, edging on my client. Once again, guys, these are the new Babyliss Low Pro FXs, or the FX Low Pro, the Low Pro FX. I don't even know exactly what it's called. Well, I do know what it's called, but I don't know why I pronounced it weird. These are the new Babyliss Low Pro FX. There you go. And as y'all can see, I'm just lining my client up, making sure it looks nice and sharp. And these trimmers are unreleased. They will not be dropping until February 1st, I believe. But hey, nonetheless, these are probably my favorite trimmers right now. Alright, so now that lineup is set in, as y'all can see, guys, I'm going back in, doing some detail work, and as you can see, I did speed up the video, but I just sped it up because I basically went over all my steps, and then my detail work is just wherever I feel is needed to make the blend a little bit more blurry, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going back in, using whatever guards I feel is necessary, opening and closing my clipper, using some corner blending, like I said earlier, guys, just using all these different techniques that I've learned throughout the years to try to get this blend to come together. And as y'all can see, little man is starting to move around a little bit. He's getting a little restless in the chair. But nonetheless, man, he's a good kid, man. I love cutting his hair. It's easy, it's to the point. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he sat really good for this haircut tutorial. I asked his mom, I said, hey, is it okay if I recorded this haircut for YouTube? She said, yeah, go ahead. So that's basically what we're doing. And as y'all can see, he's not a bad kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just chilling. Like, yes, he is moving around a little bit. He's getting restless. He's a little kid. That's gonna happen. But you just have to know you're just gonna have to learn how to play around with, with that stuff that's going on and still make the haircut come together. Alright, guys, so we are on the other side of the haircut. We are going to be doing the same exact steps. Remember, I did debulk this side with the number 3 and the number 2, so we're basically just fading into that. Alright, but let's go ahead and talk about these clippers that you see me using. These are the new Stylecraft Sabers. I believe they're still on pre-order, and I believe they're coming out next month. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they are on pre-order, so you can go to the actual Stylecraft website. I have the website in my description, and I like these clippers a lot. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that they're the best clippers out right now, but well, let me stop right there. The reason why I'm not saying that they're the best clippers out right now is because there's a lot of new tools hitting the market. But I will say that these are some really good clippers. Like, I like them a lot. Right now, I'm having an issue with, I just got 3 new clippers in, and I'm having an issue trying to figure out which ones are the best ones in my opinion. So I've been using these a lot. The Caliber, the 50 cals, and then the new Barberless clippers that aren't gonna drop yet, the Low Pro FX, the actual clipper. Right now, these are my top 3 clippers in my rotation right now, and I like the way they all cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, this clipper is a little more bulkier, a little bigger than the other ones, but I really like the way it works. I like the way the blade is set on there. I like the fade blade on it. So these clippers are really good clippers, and like I said, guys, I've used these 3 clippers a lot, and it's hard for me to say which one is best right now. But for this clipper right here, it's a really good clipper, guys. If y'all like this clipper, you can actually go to the Stylecraft website, and then you can actually use my code TANK10 when you're checking out, and it'll save yourself a little bit of money. But once again, guys, like I said, they are on pre-order, so they're not dropping just yet. But if you order them now, when they do drop, you'll be one of the first ones to get this clipper. Alright, so as y'all can see now, I finished this side of the haircut, and I'm going back to lining my client up.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
Alright, guys, so I did not record the back, and the reason for that was I was really just trying to move quicker and more efficiently. I knew my client was getting a little antsy, he was trying to get out the chair, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and just cut the back. Let me put this razor to him. I did record the razor, as y'all can see here. I recorded the razor, and yeah, guys, so this is basically going to be the finished product. We are going to add some, we're not going to add enhancements on the haircut, but we are going to add some product in this hair on top. That way we can actually comb it over and see how exactly it's going to look once this haircut is done, and so the mom knows how it looks, so she can see if, she likes it or not. Alright, guys, so that's what I'm doing here. I just wet the top a little bit, and now I'm putting in a little bit of fiber gum, And this isn't the finished product that I normally put in my client's hair. I just wanted to put a little bit in there, and then I'm gonna go over it. So this is actually me using some pomade that I have. I'm just, putting it all in the hair, combing the hair. Well, I'm gonna comb the hair the way it needs to lay. That way we can give, like I said, a finished look to this haircut. Alright guys, so check it out. This is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section, guys. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. But that's basically it, YouTube. Remember, guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area, and I said that weird. If you're in the Houston, Texas area, you can book an appointment with your boy. You can go to TangBeChopping.com, schedule an appointment, and I'll be sure to take care of you. But like I said, guys, that's basically it. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, let's go.